These ideas are nightmares to white parents whose worst fear is a child with dyed hair and who likes earrings. Like whatever they say has no bearing. It's so scary in a house that allows no swearing to see him walking around with his headphones blaring alone, his own zone. He's cold and he don't care. He's a problem child. And whatever affects him all comes out when he talks about his dad walking out. He hates him so bad that he blocks him out. If he ever saw him again, he'd probably knock him out. His thoughts are whack, he's mad, so he's talking back, he's talking trash. Brainwash from rock and rap, he sags his pants, a do-rag and a stocking cap. His stepfather hit him, so he socked him back and broke his nose. His house is a broken home, there's no control, he just lets his emotions go. Hello, how are you? Welcome or welcome back to my channel. I am Geneva, and this is Geneva in General, where we discuss a variety of topics in general. First, let me preface this by saying, I still got a lot of love, respect, even hope for Slim Shady, okay, aka Eminem, aka Marshall Mathers, okay. I've been a fan of this man since I was a little girl, okay. So let me just preface this, okay. And I understand like the evolution of human beings. We have to allow human beings to grow with themselves, okay, develop fully into their own as a person, as a human being, a man, a woman, whatever, what have you. Okay, this man has done so much for hip hop. He's done so much for the culture of hip hop, rap music, just music, period, as a not even as a genre, just music, period, right? And now he's about to be a pop, okay, his one and only daughter, even though of course he raises his other daughters as his own daughters, which is his biological daughter Haley, her sister and her cousin as his own, right? But his only biological daughter Haley, she is about to give birth to a baby boy. Okay, me and her, I believe, are the same age. It's just crazy how time flies. It's like I've watched him grow as this person, as a human, as a man, as a rapper, and I also watched his daughter grow. Ironically, even though me and her are the same age. Listen to me, okay, and listen to me carefully. I used to listen to Eminem 24/8, no 25/8 rather, okay, since I was in elementary school, okay. The Eminem Show, Encore, the Infinity album, I believe. What else? Just like the early 2000s music when it came to Eminem, that's what really spoke to me. And at that time, I believe I could relate to his music. And which I call right now, I ain't gonna lie, as I got older and I've evolved, I call it like angry white boy music. I'm like, listen to Eminem, the songs I used to listen to back then. When I listen to it now, it literally just makes me want to punch holes in the wall. But then again, when I was listening to it back then as a little girl, it would also make me want to punch holes in the wall. Again, music back then, like such as Bully, Toy Soldiers, My Band with D12. Okay, he put a lot of other Detroit rappers and artists on. He had songs like, I really love, Superman, I Can't Be Your Superman. I would listen to all these songs since I was like in second, third grade, and it just literally made me fall in love with him because not only was his music obviously like not, I don't want to say it affected me, but it was something I could relate to back then. Okay, I didn't always have the good relationship with my parents. I didn't have the best relationship with my siblings. I didn't have the best relationship with school. I hated school. Okay, and it was like listening to Eminem's music back then. It gave me this outlet to be angry. I remember being in I want to say I was 9 years old in the fourth grade. It was me and some friends. I was the only one that was like a diehard Eminem fan. Okay, these are like little black boys and black girls, and they got to the point. I'm like, we was having this heated debate, and I was like, you know what, screw this. I'm like, let's just go outside and take a survey. Literally, like in my neighborhood. I grew up in Lima, Ohio. On what neighborhood was this at the time? It was not 4th Street. It was an intersection on Main Street. I forgot the name of the street, but it was on Main Street, right? Leading up to the library and leading up to my elementary school, Independence Elementary. We would literally stop cars. We would say the debate. Okay, my friends at the time, they said 50 Cent was superior to Eminem. And I was like, you guys are tripping. So we would literally stop cars driving by, and I was like, we would say, hey, who's the best rapper? Is it Eminem or 50 Cent? We got a mixed bag. But a lot of people were saying 50 Cent over Eminem, and of course this upset me because I'm like, how? What ears are you guys listening to music with? This is just ridiculous. To me back then, I'm like, Eminem, he mainly made like club bangers such as like, In the Club and things like that. Of course, I listened to things like Many Men, who my older cousin Mariah, she put me on. And I'm like, okay, Eminem kind of got more grit. He got, not more grit, but he got some grit to him that I liked about Eminem back in those days. I'm like, what, in my opinion back then, I said 50 Cent just makes club bangers. He don't really make like, angry music that makes me like, allow me to get my emotions out when it comes to like, me hating going to school, me hating certain teachers. I'm like, what? That's just how I, perceived them back in those days and who I could relate more with. and why I believed at that time, even still now, that Eminem was a far superior rapper compared to 50 Cent. But again, like with everything, right? All living creatures, at least we're supposed to, we eventually, over time, we begin to expand, we begin to grow, we begin to evolve. And I seen Eminem begin to evolve. When I got into high school, I stopped listening to his music as a junior in high school. Ninth grade, 10th grade, he did some collabs with Rihanna. Monster Under the Bed. I love The Way You Lie. I love that song. But I began to see him grow and change. For the better, right? He came out with Relapse and then Recovery. I believe the song Deer in Headlights or something like that. He actually forgave his mom, who just recently, guys, like a month or some change ago, she just passed away. So again, it's like, I'm just happy that Eminem was able to have that, that conversation or conversations with his mom, who he had a lot of resentment towards. Again, that's another reason, cleaning up my closet. When I would get mad at my mom for this, that, and the third, just being childish. I was literally a young little girl, like in elementary school. My mom would tell me to do something, I didn't want to do it. I would just listen to Clean Up My Closet by Eminem. And it's like, what? It literally just gave me that outlet to be angry and like kind of channel his emotions, how he felt towards his mom, and even the way that he felt towards his daughter. I was like, I remember being so jealous that, he loved Haley so much. Again, obviously my dad loves me, but again, I didn't have that same, what I perceived to be same relationship that I have with my father, as though, the relationship that Eminem spoke about in his music towards his daughter Haley. The older I got, listening to his albums such as Relapse, Recovery, I seen like this man is also, dealing with, addiction issues, be it alcohol, pills, and other sorts of drugs. And I just saw, I saw this growth with him where it wasn't like, again, obviously I can't relate. I'm not an alcoholic, thank goodness. Well, at least not no more, right? Being in the military. And, I'm not addicted to drugs. So I'm like, when I got to high school, again, he had some club bangers, such as his collaborations with Rihanna, Love the Way You Lie. It's like I can no longer relate to Eminem as an artist or as just as a human being. And I remember I just stopped listening to his music. And even more so, what really confused me was, even now, I'll listen to his older albums I loved listening to as a kid. I remember I got in trouble when I was I was 10 years old in the 5th grade. My dad caught me listening to FACK, okay? FACK. If you know, you know, okay? He got so mad. Again, I was listening to it on my MP3 player. Yes, I'm old enough, okay, to remember that. That was how we used to, what we utilized to listen to our music, okay? We didn't have iPods. We didn't have iPhones. We didn't have Androids, okay? We had the MP3 players, okay? It was like the shoddy ones that you can get from Dollar General for like $15. My dad walked in on me. He's like, "What you listening to?" He took the headphones, and of course it was Eminem's FACK, and I got into a lot of trouble. Again, it's like right now as an adult, I don't believe Eminem's music just for me. Again, I still love and respect him as an artist, as a human being, as a man, who's evolved. I don't believe that his music has aged well. It's like it does not speak to me how it used to speak to me back then. And usually that is not the case for now. I would argue not just for myself, but for human beings as a species, right? It's like when you listen to music from your childhood, from back in the days, the good days, the glory days, from like let's say the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, early 2000s, you usually get like fond memories, good nostalgia. It kind of speaks with you, right? It's like that. It's like even though like you play the song out 1,000 times, it still brings you joy, happiness, and it's just a very pleasurable experience to your ears, to your brain chemistry, whatever, what have you. If I listen to "Fact" by Eminem right now, if I listen to "Cleaning Up My Closet," Superman, all the songs that I used to love listening to, Spacebound, Rap God, it just doesn't hit the same. And it's like, to me, it doesn't put me in a good headspace. Okay, I'm not going to say like it negatively affects my mental health, but it doesn't positively affect my mental health. Okay, at the same time, right, to be fair and balanced. And it's just like, what happened to Eminem? Again, I understand that he's evolved. He just lost his mom, who I'm happy that he was able to, kind of repair that relationship. He's about to be a grandfather. So it's like, this is like a very, new time for his life. Again, he just lost his mom. His daughter is about to give birth to a little boy. Like, this is just craziness. And it's like, it's very interesting. If you guys listen to his albums, like from like Infinity, I believe that was his first album that came out like in '98, and listen to his music today, his growth and his evolution as a rapper, as a human being, as a man, a white man from Detroit, is very mind-boggling. But again, guys, just comment on your thoughts below. Again, I just had this random video to make because, again, yesterday on my way to work, I had a coworker who was driving us out to Maffer. I'm security forces, so I had to guard the plane again for 12 hours. So boring, but I'm just out there chilling with me and my wingman. And he was just literally playing old school Eminem songs. And I'm listening to the songs. I'm like, what was I thinking listening to this music at such a young age? One, and now at this point, it's like it kind of annoys me to listen to Eminem music from back in the day. So like to me, it just did not age well. And like I remember it used to be so satisfying listening to him bend words. Remember he did an interview about this. He's like, it would make him upset when people said like, certain words don't rhyme with other certain words. And he said they do. He said all words almost can rhyme. You just gotta bend it. Like he said like the word orange. Like people say you can't rhyme orange with anything. He was like, it's pouring outside and George and orange. Like the way that he would like bend and twist words, it was so satisfactory to my ears to hear back in the days. But now it's just like, again, I just don't enjoy listening to not all his music, but the majority of his music, specifically the music I used to listen to when I was like a second grader, 7-year-old little girl. Okay, I just don't get that same effect anymore. Guys, comment down below your thoughts on Eminem, his career. You know, how his music how it affected you back in the days. Okay, when he first came out, did you listen to his music, and how his evolution and his growth and his change, how it affected him as an artist, and how it affects you as a listener? Do you still listen to Eminem's music, or do you agree with me that his music just has not aged well? Comment down below.